Hello and welcome to our video. It's your host Ultra19 or Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and I'm here today to present to you all the brand new 2024 fighter. Has it been buffed? Has it been nerfed? How am I feeling about overall fighter and how he will do in 2024? Well, let's just get right into that. But before we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because seeing my videos do better just makes me want to make them better, get better equipment, do better scripts, and overall just improve the quality of my videos. So just leaving a like, a comment, and a subscription can benefit me more than you can possibly know, unless you are a YouTuber. And if you are a YouTuber, then you already know how beneficial they are. So yeah, let's just get right into it. None of the more fluff. So now the first feature fighters get at level 1, which they now gain 3 features, which is a significant buff. They now gain fighting styles. Now fighting styles have been overhauled for one real reason I can notice at least, and it's because of the fighting initiate feat. In Tasha's Coaching of Everything, if you're proficient for at least one martial weapon, you could take one fighting style from the fighter class. Now, this feat to some may seem useless, but for others, picking up stuff like archery, or even blind fighting. Where is it? Man, where's blind fighting? Or blind fighting that's right here. Or even unarmed fighting for my monks out there could actually be pretty massive. But now it seems that in the 2024 version, they don't want that to be possible. So now here's the thing. With fighting styles, they all now have prerequisites of you must have the fighting style feature. Meaning at level 4, you can, if you want to, take an additional fighting style feat. I really don't recommend that now since feats are really broken, but I'll get into that. Well, I think I've already gotten into that many times. So basically what this means is that fighting initiate is basically gone, which is weird to me because I don't know why they would do that. Meaning monks, because every fighting style you see that was introduced in Tasha's True Player's Handbook is in the new Player's Handbook. Archery, blind fighting, defense, dueling, gary weapon fighting. Actually, some of these did get significant changes. Interception, protection, superior technique, thrown weapon, two weapon, unarmed. All those are in the new book. So I don't know. I think it's kind of weird now that they're like artificially like limiting what classes can get fighting styles, even if they are willing to take a feat. I don't know. It's a weird change, but for the fighter, there's not much change. This is more of a general look at how this is changing for everyone. So yeah, as a fighter, you still get one fighting style. Great Weapon Fighting has been significantly nerfed, which sucks because it was one of the weaker ones, and I think it was protection, where now it's every strike that hits the creature now permanently has this advantage. So it's basically like disadvantage will last for the whole round instead of for one attack, which is pretty damn nice. And our next feature is now Second Wind. Second Wind has significantly gotten buff, but not at this level. Basically, Second Wind, you gain more uses of Second Wind as you level up. And to regain a Second Wind, now here's the exact wording. When you take a long rest, you regain all uses of your Second Wind feature. But when you take a short rest, you only regain one use of your Second Wind. Now, I know to some people that may like, huh? But I'll explain it more, because for some people, Second Wind was never a broken feature. It was more of a, oh yeah, this feature, it's cool. I can definitely use it, you know. But now it's definitely been enhanced and buffed by a significant amount, I say. Next, we have weapon masteries. Now, the fighters can have 3 weapons that each have one mastery property up at the same time. Now, there are some options here. I think in my personal opinion, Sap probably is going to be the one I'm using with all of my weapons. Just being able to grant disadvantage on the next attack roll to a creature I just slash with my great sword or my flail or my maul or great axe, whatever. It kind of reminds me of Elden Ring, where if you're wielding like a heavy weapon, you could like make a boss go down and then like attack him. I don't know what's the name of it because I've never played Elden Ring. I've just seen like a lot of videos about it. And I consistently see that when people are using heavy weapons, and I go, yeah, kind of remind me of that. That's off topic, but that's all we get at level 1. Overall, it's a weapon masteries. I do think fighters are going to be able to use weapon masteries the best. I have now seen that at level 9, little spoilers, fighters can now become like warlocks. which I'll explain more, but at level 2, fighters, gain action surge. They still have action surge, they still have that feature, but action surge has been changed where you can no longer use the cast a spell with action surge, which is really weird. Yeah, I guess, and we now with the new spell rules, we do now know that you can only cast one, you can only waste one spell slot per turn. But yeah, with action surge, you're no longer allowed to cast magic with it, which is definitely an interesting change. I mean, if you're like a wood elf, you can no longer cast Pass Without a Trace. If you're I think a drow, you can no longer do Fairy Fire with action surge. I mean, it's a weird change because at the end of the day, like now, I guess if you are an Eldritch Knight or a fight or a wizard, you can't cast one spell with no spell slot action surge and cast another. You can because you can no longer use the magic action with your action surge, which is definitely an interesting choice, and I can definitely see why they did make it. But next we have Tactical Mind. Now this is kind of what enhances on Second Wind, and basically you can expend a use of Second Wind to add a D10 to a failed ability check, and if you still fail somehow, the use of Second Wind isn't expended. Overall, Tactical Mind I feel like is a very powerful feature. It reminds me a lot of what the Soul Knife got in in Tasha's, where basically you can expend a psionic energy dice to. I'm sorry if you heard something. I hit the mic on accident. You can expend a psionic energy dice to gain like a D6 or something. It scales as you level up to your ability check, and if you still fail, you don't like you lose it. You only use it if you succeed. So I'm kind of happy they went on that design philosophy, because even then, I mean, you only have 1 second wind per short rest. That's one thing I've been noticing a lot is like when it comes to a feature like second wind or like rage, where it was tied behind like something that may be a little annoying, because like you would want to use second wind multiple times in a fight, or like how you would like to use rage multiple times a day. They've kind of been making it where a lot of these options are kind of integral to a class now come back on a short rest, but they don't fully come back on a short rest. Only like one or two come back on a short rest. But when you take that long rest, that's when everything truly comes back, which I definitely do like. And I kind of wish some of the half casters like the Ranger and Paladin might have gotten something like that, where if they take a short rest, they can choose a number of spell slots equal to like the proficiency bonus or something like that, and that's how many they can regain. I feel like that's a little broken. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I feel like something like that probably would have been cool. Tweak it a little bit, of course, but this is not a fighter video, not Ranger or Pally video. But next at level 3, we do have our subclasses, which I will be skipping. Check out tomorrow on Tuesday for my fighter breakdown, how to play one, how to build one. That's where I'll be covering all the subclasses, because subclasses majorly impact what type of build you will be making. Next, we have Tactical Shift. Now, this one's actually pretty good, and definitely a feature I'm excited for. You can move up to half your movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks when you use Second Wind as a bonus action. Meaning that you can get. So how I like to imagine this feature would work is you're basically in the middle of a fight, right? You're just absolutely cutting up a monster. But then I'd like to imagine either the monster's dead, or you realize, oh, my partner needs me. They're on the ground. I need to feed them a potion. I need to do something. So what I like to imagine you do is you'd use your second wind to heal yourself up a bit, then go help your ally. Which I very much like the flavor and overall like the imagery they're trying to paint with that. And hey, I think it's a very nice and flavorful change that also carries on pretty well mechanically. Next, we have Indomitable, which has received one of the most craziest buffs ever. Indomitable is basically the same feature, but when you re-roll a saving throw, you now add your fighter level to that re-roll. Oh, yeah, this is very powerful. Being able to have a +9 when you first gain the feature, all up to a +20 on a saving throw, is pretty damn ridiculous. And especially if you're doing like a Constitution saving throw. I mean, an Eldritch Knight can probably now hold up enlarge reduce permanently. I would like to imagine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oof. Yeah, this is a very nice change, and I overall very one I definitely do enjoy, and I do like the idea of fighters kind of being like they're not the wisest probably. Like I do like the mental image that more and more martials are kind of being taught how to counteract magical esque effects. Sorry if you hear trash. Sorry if you hear like a garbage truck in the background. Oh my gosh, whatever. But yeah, I do definitely like the notion that martials in general in D&D with like their features are kind of being taught to resist magical effects or be like how to like or stuff things of that nature. I very much like the flavor, and that's something the community has been asking for a decent amount. Like some martials just being have built-in ways to counterspell spells, which I feel like that's a little bit ridiculous in my personal opinion. But I do definitely like Mage Slayer and Indomitable and other features. I've been seeing how it kind of makes the player realize what world they live in and makes your character adapt to that world, which I very much like that flavor. Next, we have Tactical Master. Now, this is a very fun feature. Basically, you can replace a weapon mastery property with push, sap, or slow. Dude, that's interesting. Hmm. Now, oh damn it, I didn't pull up the web. Alright, well, yeah. While I pull up the page for the weapon masteries, I like that. I very much like that. As a fighter, you're so trained with weapons. Like I imagine you were born into a blade or have put so much hours into a blade or a bow that you kind of now are truly a master. Because one of the main flavors of a fighter is that kind of you can be good at anything. You can be a dexterity based fighter. You can be a strength. You can be whatever when it comes to being a fighter. And I very much like the flavor that you're literally so good at everything that they all kind of start to blend in together. And I very much like what that means thematically and flavorly. Now, looking at the options we do gain, so we seem to gain the push. Let's go read push. I wonder what it does. Basically, you can launch a creature 10 feet straight away from you without a saving throw. I mean, yeah, it's good for escaping opportunity attacks, sending someone to a pit of acid off a cliff. Can be pretty nice. I mean, sap. Now, sap. Ooh, ho, oh, ho, ho. Yeah, wow, okay. Cause sap is a very powerful one. Yeah, when you hit an enemy with attack, they now have disadvantage on their neck. Being able to use that on like oh my like now if you use sap with a bow and arrow with like a longbow, you can now just be sniping someone. Boom, they have disadvantage. Boom, they have disadvantage. I mean, oh, you're level 9, so you don't have your 11th your third attack. But when you gain your well, okay, that adds a lot of tact. That adds like a lot of like tacticalness to the fighter. Okay, I really like that. Yeah, I didn't think I would. Now we slow. You can reduce someone's movement speed by 10 feet. I mean, this can be nice, I guess. I mean, eh. Well, I think let's just focus on sap. Yeah, sap is very interesting. Okay. Now ooh, that's good, man. That's powerful too. Just, I mean, yeah, like if you use action surge or have 4 attacks in a turn, you can grant 4 enemies just straight disadvantage if you're using a ranged weapon. And also, which a very weird choice, but I probably should mention it because it will matter. Great Weapon Master can be used on longbows and heavy crossbows. So you could Great Weapon Master longbow someone, but overall, it's weird. I'll go over that in the fighter build video. But yeah, overall, Tactical Master, it is a very powerful feature and definitely something I can see people abusing. Next, we have Studied Attacks. You gain advantage on attacks against a target creature after you miss an attack. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like the idea of a fighter. They kind of are so known to battle. I mean, they're 13th level. These are like professionals we're dealing with here. So, like, they kind of know how to read a person. I kind of like how this is more like because sometimes the one thing with like D&D that like I feel like it doesn't really do as well is like using your skills in combat. Like, very rarely do I ever see someone, oh, like, yeah, make an insight check to see if you can, they gain disadvantage or something like that. And I do definitely like the idea that our character is using, like, their wisdom or their insight or their intelligence or kind of like their charisma. I feel like you could reflavor it to, like, get a better chance of hitting your enemy. I very much like that idea that this fighter is becoming less and less of a like a D&D character and more of a real like because I think I'll say this to the end because it's getting a little rambly. At level 19, we get epic boons. Yeah, that's it. Though. So back to the ramble. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all for the feature fighter. If you wanna hear me ramble, then make sure make sure you stay until right now. But if you don't want to hear me ramble, you can leave. Make sure to have a good day. Yeah, bye bye. But now since I can ramble a little more, yeah, I very much like that. I very much like the feeling of this fighter that they're becoming less of a D&D character per se. Like our character, our abilities are less leaving our perspective and entering more into the fighter's perspective of things. Because yeah, if you're a fighter in the world of D&D, you probably do want to learn how to make yourself better at resisting magics. Or yeah, you probably would want to learn how to get yourself out of sticky situations. Which I mean, or you would want to know how to use your insight or your wisdom or whatever you want to use to really study your opponent and become better at fighting them. Something which to us may probably we won't even mention that long, but to our character is something they probably would care for. Even something like tactical master, where you just gain all of these weapon properties because you know them. To our character, like yeah, on our sheet we only know like 2 weapon masteries or like 3. Yeah, we learned 3. But as a fighter, we like had the chance. I imagine like we had the chance to know all weapon masteries. So I like to think that maybe in like our formative years, we just like focused in and mastered certain weapon masteries, and maybe for some reason or another we never used them, or maybe we forgot about them, or maybe we never finished mastering them because of like some backstory accident. But now, since we had the time, or since we just been fighting so much, that like it's been awakening us that like mastery of a weapon. And I very much like it how fighters are becoming more and more kind of like a fighter. You're just becoming more and more like a soldier. And I very much do enjoy how they kind of become no I don't, like they're kind of becoming more realistic with their features. I think it's the word I'm trying to use here. And I very much do like that. And overall, I do like the design philosophy that the team for D&D is using here. I think having features that once were very limited in use and now making them a little less limited, but still making them feel like you probably shouldn't use this every single fight. I do very much enjoy that. I do with the changes to Rage, I very much liked it because it just made you want to play a barbarian more. And overall, I do very much like how they taken Second Wind as this thing that many people saw as a low level feature to something that will be effective and very useful in very high levels. And overall, I do very much like the scaling. And I mean, I do definitely still think there probably is a push off point with the fighter where it kind of is like, maybe multiclassing is a little bit better. But now with the epic boons and like, I mean, because overall, I mean, Tactical Master is very powerful. And I mean, you're already a level 9. You might as well get to level 13 to gain. I mean, because, okay, here's what I imagine. You're already at level 9. Might as well get level 10 for your subclass features, which all have been universally buffed and made amazing. You might as well get to level 10. And at level 11, you get a third attack. You might as well go there. And at level 12, you get an extra feat. You might as well take, like, Warp, Mage Slayer, or something else. And I mean, hey, you're level 13, and you can gain advantage on attack after you miss a creature. Like, you might as well. Like, you really have no reason to not take it. And then at level 14, you gain an additional ability score improvement. So it's like, hey, I mean, you can max out your constitution, take Fade Touched, and then at level 15, you get a subclass feature. Level 16, another feat. And then at level 17, meaning even if you don't need the level 16 feat, level 17, you gain an extra use of Indomitable, which is now broken, and Action Surge. 18, you get a subclass feature. Then at 19, Epic Boon. Then Boom at 20, more attacks. I very much like that now with the fighter, it's more taxing to multi-class with it. Which, as a person that likes to break builds, Then, boo, boo, give me all my very powerful features at level 3. But as a person, well, not even at that. But I feel like, moreover, as a person who like designs homebrew and very much cares for game balance in my table, well, like balancing it to my degree, I very much appreciate and very much like the changes they made. Now, like, of course, the power gamer and everyone wants all your powerful features to be like a level 1, so then you can just take a one dip of fighter. And of course, I'm probably gonna think of some broken multi-class with the fighter later on. But overall, when it comes to like a DM perspective of, oh, this is really interesting because now my player can fully live out the flavor of a fighter without multiclassing into barbarian, without multiclassing into ranger or any other class. I very much appreciate that, and I'm really excited to see someone play through all the levels of fighter and see what they come up with. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it from your boy, OT19, signing out. Have a good day, night, or morning.